What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Mind Something. If you're new here, my name is Jake, and in today's video, it feels good to be back. It's been, gosh, almost a week since I made a video, and I missed you guys. I hope you missed me, and let's just jump straight into it. So, taking a look at the market right now, Bitcoin is coming in at 16,681. Ethereum is at 1,200. XRP at 36 cents. Dogecoin at 72 cents, or excuse me, 7 cents. Cardano at 25 cents, Polygon at 80 cents, and Litecoin at $68.20. Solana is down below $11 at $10.92, down about 10% for the week, and Toncoin is down to $2.13, also down almost 12% for the week. Let's go ahead and take a look at Kaspa. So right now, Kaspa is down almost 5%. It is below 0.005. Let's go ahead and take a look at the 3-month chart. And you can see we're going to start testing our previous line of resistance. Maybe we can hold that as support. Let's take a look at Radiant. So Radiant is down almost 15% right now. And man, ironically, I think difficulty has gone down quite a bit on Radiant as well. So has Kaspa a little bit. We'll take a look at that here in just a moment. And while we're here, let's go ahead and take a look at Flux. So Flux is down less than 1% right now at about 46 cents. And Ergo is sitting at roughly down about 1.5% at $1.26. Let's go ahead and take a look at the whole chart here. Yeah, I think we're getting close to the bottom here, guys. So next, let's take a look at profitability on a 3070 at 10 cents per kilowatt hour. Right now, even Radiant is down to -7 cents. Ergo is down -11 cents. Kaspa is down -12 cents. And Flux is -15 cents. Let's go ahead and take a look at the rewards on Kaspa. Actually, difficulty must be up because look at this. Ever since the 26th, the rewards have gone down dramatically. I wonder if those Osprey or Osprey FPGAs are making it to their destinations and getting turned on. Let's take a look at Radiant profitability real quick. So right now, my entire farm would be at 22 gigahash at roughly 2200 watts at 7 cents per kilowatt hour. I'm just slightly profitable. MinerStat is showing $1.15 in profit, $4.82 in revenue. Let's go ahead and take a look at what to mine and see what to mine says on Radiant, see if they're close. So we were at 22 gigahash, 2180. Oh, let's change this to 7 cents per kilowatt hour. So this is showing 96 cents a day in profit, and $4.62. And this is based on current numbers and not over the 24-hour period. So, yeah. Just barely squeaking out some profit there on Radiant. Let's go ahead and take a look at Nexa real quick. So let's see here. Earlier today I did this. You know what? Let's just go ahead and redo it. So profit 700 megahash at 3200 watts at 0.07 cents per kilowatt hour. This may take just a moment. I've got a bunch of news topics to cover today. Hopefully this video won't be too long, but okay, looks like we're coming in at $2.25 a day in profit on Nexa, costing us roughly about $5.38 per day in electric. Total revenue of $7.62. Let's try at 10 cents per kilowatt hour just to see if we're still profitable there. So, ooh, -3 cents. That's rough. So, yeah, hopefully you guys are under 10 cents per kilowatt hour. Obviously, the solar helps every bit. Next, let's just go ahead and jump into the news here. So I saw this. This is some good news. U.S. delays crypto tax reporting rules as it still can't define what a broker is. So a key set of crypto tax reporting rules is being delayed until further notice under a decision made by the United States Treasury Department. The rules were supposed to be effective in the 2023 tax filing year in accordance with the Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act passed in November of 2021. The new law requires that the Internal Revenue Service, or the IRS, develop a standard definition of what a cryptocurrency broker is, and any business that falls under this definition is required to issue a Form 1099-B to every customer detailing their profits and losses from trades. It also requires these firms to provide the same information to the IRS so it will be aware of customers' incomes and trading. However, more than 12 months have passed since the infrastructure bill became law, but the IRS has still not published a definition of what a crypto broker is or created standard forms for these firms to use in making the reports. In a December 23rd statement, the Treasury Department says that it intends to craft such rules soon. As it explains, the Department of Treasury and the IRS intend to implement Section 80603 of the Infrastructure Act by publishing regulations specifically addressing the application of Sections 6045 and 6045A to digital assets and providing forms and instructions for broker reporting. After careful consideration, all public comments received and all testimony at the public hearing, final regulation will be published. In the meantime, the department says that brokers will not be required to comply with the new crypto tax provisions, stating, brokers will not be required to report or furnish additional information with respect to dispositions of digital assets under Section 6040, or issue additional statements under Section 6045A, or file any returns with the IRS or on transfers of digital assets under Section 6045A until those new final regulations under 6045 and 6045A are issued. However, taxpayers or customers will still be required to comply with the crypto tax provisions. The crypto tax provisions have been controversial within the blockchain industry ever since they were first proposed. Critics have argued that the broad definition of broker under the law could be used to attack Bitcoin miners who will likely be unable to comply with reporting revisions or provisions. Yeah, so I mean there is nothing to report the way that it's set up now. You don't know who you're sending to. You know addresses, but I mean that's it. What else can they expect? But it is nice to see that it's getting delayed a little bit longer. You know, I don't know. It's hard to say if it's a good thing or a bad thing at this point. I mean, I think everybody is ready for a little bit of clarity, but it just goes to show you how slow Congress is to do anything, let alone the IRS. So moving on, let's talk about just the headlines on Cointelegraph real quick. We've got crypto OTC trading to get traction due to FTX fiasco, executive says. Bitcoin hodlers sit on record 8 million BTC in unrealized loss, data shows. Top 5 crypto winners and losers of 2022. I'm going to go ahead and click on this one. I found this interesting. So we're just going to go over the top ones. So number 1, GMX, which I'm actually not familiar with. Trust Wallet token at number 2, which is surprising considering, you know, any centralized platform that has its own token should obviously be an area of interest for regulators, so kind of odd. And then I see this one pumping all the time. I don't really know anything about it. I need to do a little bit more research, but Unis said Leo, or Leo token, is also in the top 3. Then you got OKB, another exchange token, and then TON, or TON, depending on how you pronounce it, or the Open Network, which we've covered this quite a few times. We've seen it pumping that is giving back some of those gains right now, but you know, considering we're in the midst of the bear market and potentially close to the bottom, TON's been performing pretty well. Anyways, let's go back, take a look at a few of the other headlines real quick. So we got, maybe it was illegal, Mango Markets exploiter arrested on fraud charges. And we got 10 predictions for crypto in 2023. I think Son of a Tech covered that one already. Mark Cuban to Bill Maher, if you have gold, you're dumb AF. Just get Bitcoin. And then we've got wife of Hal Finney announces Bitcoin charity event. And then lastly, Argo Blockchain suspends trading on NASDAQ due to upcoming announcements. So something I saw in Discord that I wanted to share with you guys. This is from Tim on Kaspa's Discord. He says, "Hey there, folks. Wanted you to know tip.cc is running a free listing campaign on their Discord. In case any of you feel it would be cool to have a way to send and receive any amount of Kaspa directly on your favorite Discord servers without having a wallet or having to pay a single cent in fees, feel free to join their server and vote here." So yeah, awesome. Sounds cool to me. I'll probably head over there and vote as well. And then next, I wanted to take a look at difficulty across several of the well-known projects like Flux and Ergo and Ravencoin. So we're going to take a look at the 1 year here on Flux first. As you can see, we are actually up a bit in difficulty on Flux. And let's go ahead and take a look at the all-time chart here. Just wanted to note some similarities that I noticed. So you've got your first pump here, followed by a dip. Then you've got your large pump in difficulty, followed by a massive dip. And it looks like we got down to levels unseen again until, let's see here, we go from roughly July 24th of 2018 until roughly August. No, we'll say July. Roughly about 1 year, or 2 years, excuse me. 2 years to the bottom of the difficulty. And if this particular chart happens to repeat that, we've got our first pump here, and then we've got what happened after the merge, and we could potentially see difficulty just fall off a cliff if we repeat the same behavior as before. Next, let's take a look at Ergo. So as you can see, Ergo has kind of made its way back up since the beginning of December as far as difficulty is concerned, which is interesting. We'll take a look at the all-time chart here. This one only goes back to roughly July of 2019. And we'll go ahead and take a look at Ravencoin. So this is the annual chart here. You can see we bottomed out pretty much at the beginning of December, kind of making our way back up again. And then next, let's take a look at Neoxa. And kind of the same thing here. Bottomed out roughly about a week or so ago and seemed to be heading back up a little bit. And currently, I am actually mining Radiant again. I've been mining Kaspa for about a week now. I just set it and forget it while I was enjoying the holidays. But I did go ahead and jump back onto Radiant, considering that I would be in the negative if I was still mining Kaspa. And I may go back to Nexa. I haven't decided. So if we take a look at what each of these projects are doing on Xbitron, earlier today, Kaspa was up like 10%. Let's see if we can see it in the chart. So yeah, we were sitting at 0.005431, and we're currently down to 5202. And then let's take a look at Nexa real quick. So Nexa second in trading volume today on Xbitron, and also just took a little bit of a dip. It was sitting up here at 158. And let's take a look at Radiant real quick. Radiant down 15% at this very moment. But it did have a pump earlier today. We got all the way back up to 0.00099. Let's zoom out on this chart a little bit here. See, when was the last time we were sitting that low on Radiant. It's been a while. Yeah, we got to go back quite a ways here. So previously, roughly about November 24th, we were in that area, and then that's been a pretty significant line of support this whole time. But it didn't hold up too well now. Let's see here. We went from the 17th or 16th of December until the 26th. So roughly about 10 days it held that line of support, and we are now sitting below it. So yeah, I don't know. It's probably going to be a little bit tougher to get on top of that and use it as support again. So as you can see, just wanted to show you, we are currently mining Radiant. You'll see a little bit of Kaspa on this particular rig, but my whole farm essentially is roughly about 22 gigahash, but that's including a 3080 Ti that I have in my desktop, which doesn't show here. So over the break, I did have some good news I wanted to share with you guys. I managed to find a really good deal on a brand new Ryzen 9 5950X. And I also found a really good deal on this case with an X570. I believe it's an Asus Tough Gaming Edition with Wi-Fi. And yeah, the build is underway. I'm trying to be as cost effective as possible with this. This is probably going to be my daily driver, but I did want to add some CPU mining content to the channel. So I figured, yeah, why not? I did some trading with a guy for a TV, and right now I'm using this cooler that I got off of one of my mining rigs. In fact, it was the first mining rig that I built, or that I bought. And this cooler is massive. I really wanted to buy one of the Kraken, I think it's the Z63, that has the little circular LED display cooler with the AIO. But yeah, they're just too much, man. Maybe I'll find a good deal on one, but I don't know. I want to do air cooling at first and see how well it performs, and if it's really necessary, we'll move on to something that's water cooled. But yeah, I'm excited to get this build done. Anyways, last thing I wanted to cover with you guys today is the bill that just passed, the Omnibus bill. So inside of this bill, a $1.7 trillion spending bill, is a lot of unnecessary stuff. Have you guys ever heard the expression pork bellying? Essentially, the term pork barrel politics usually refers to spending which is intended to benefit constituents of a politician in return for their political support, either in the form of campaign contributions or votes. And you'll see a lot of that in this particular bill. But there's something in particular that I want to cover on the channel, and that's what some of this money is being used for in regards to developing CBDCs. But I just wanted to point out some of the people that are earmarking money in here. So you got Charles Schumer, you've got Mike Braun, you've got Mitch McConnell, Richard Shelby, Patrick Leahy, Mark Kelly. There's a lot of money being thrown into this bill that just seems a bit ridiculous considering the situation that we're in right now with, inflation out of control, and that obviously being a result of all the money printing that happened during COVID to stimulate the economy. And here we are spending trillions of dollars again. And I want you to hear something from Rand Paul, where he talks about how this bill was introduced at the last minute. So let's just take a moment here to listen to a little bit of this.
Bill, why don't you go first?
I brought with me the Omni, 4,155 pages. When was it produced? In the dead of the night, 1:30 in the morning when it was released. Now, people argue that it's conservatives' fault. You don't have the Christmas spirit. Somehow you're holding up government. Well, whose job is it to produce this? The people in charge of spending, the people in charge of both of the parties. When did they know that this would be necessary? Well, it's in the law, September 30th. You got 9 months, almost 10 months, to produce a plan. to have a spending plan. They weren't ready on September 30th, so they voted themselves 90 more days. They weren't ready last week either, so they voted themselves another week. And now we have it at 1:30 in the morning this morning. But what's the clamor? The clamor is to vote. Vote now. Let's get it done. Why are you standing in the way of spending? Well, the real question is this. What is more dangerous? What is more dangerous to the country? $1.1 trillion in new debt, or as Republican leadership likes to say, oh, but it's a win. It's a big win. We're getting $45 billion for the military. So which is more important? Which threatens the country more? Are we at risk for being invaded by a foreign power if we don't put $45 billion into the military? Or are we more at risk by adding to a $31 trillion debt? I think the greatest risk to our national security is our debt. The process stinks. It's an abomination. It's a no good, rotten way to run your government. $6 trillion entity, and they want 24 hours to process this, and then they want to go forward.
Yeah, so you get roughly 24 hours to read a 4,400-page document and make a decision on whether or not it's the best way to spend money on the economy. Just absolutely ludicrous, and we know what's really happening here. And if you guys want to go deeper down the rabbit hole with me, I'm going to post a video perhaps later today, but it's going to be a lot of reading, and I wanted to keep this video as short as I can. But I'm curious, I want to hear your thoughts. What do you think this means for markets as a whole? You know, if our government is going to spend another $1.7 trillion on an omnibus spending bill, what does that mean for traditional markets? What does that mean for crypto markets? What does that mean for you at your household? Anyways, leave some comments down below, guys, and I will see you guys on the next one.